Okay, so today we have Gary Numan and films, and very windy outside. I gotta say, if you can hear anything, my fence fell down, so that's fun. But anyway, we have Gary Numan and films, and I don't know if there's an artist that I get more requests for than Gary goddamn Numan. So I said, what the hell? Let's come to films. Another one from The Pleasure Principle, and yeah, let's come into it, talk about it after. Again, so many people want it, and I'm happy to do it because I like Gary. So let's get into it. We'll talk about it after. Let's go. Oh. My goodness. Oh, goodness. Whoa, whoa. There it is. My God. I mean, good Lord. The more I listen to songs off of this album, his debut album, I'm just more taken aback. I just appreciate this man more. So, films from Gary Numan here. And again, this song was highly requested, along with many other ones. And I'll get to, again, there's going to be more Gary Numan in the future. I have to say that off the top. But anyway, this this, just the way it starts off, it's more, because again, I think the only other song, I guess, that I've heard from this album is Cars, and I've heard also a song from, his other work there with the Two-Way Station, Our Friends Electric, I think it was, and that was great as well. So anyway, I think that, I haven't heard too much, but what I've heard from Gary has been so good, and here again, I think, I said when the synthesizers all, came in, and I said, oh, there it is. Just that signature, synth sound that Gary Numan had. And again, this for being in 1979, this was so... I wasn't alive, but I've been told anyway, through comments. And that's one thing I have to also say, there's been so many people who have talked, who have commented on the Gary Numan stuff, and who say, Gary Numan, he's so underrated and he doesn't get the respect he deserves. And again, people have called him a one-hit wonder with Cars, but I see that this album itself went to number one, and he has had so many different, songs. And again, it seems like, yeah, he's very underrated, and people, really discredit him, or uncredit, whatever. People don't give him the credit he deserves for what he did, and, people he inspired and influenced with his sound. Because again, this still sounds so fresh even now in like 2023. Just I don't know, like I said, the just intensity of it all, of the synths, of the drums and percussion here as well. I go on about Gary so much, but on here as well, I want to talk about Cedric Sharpley, who was on drums and percussion apparently here from Wikipedia anyway. Just so groovy. I mean, you hear, that's how the song kind of started off, and you're bobbing your head along, and it's just so groovy. And he kind of just, drove the whole song throughout the whole thing. Drove the whole song the whole time, I guess. And that was just great. And like I said, it's so nice to the ears. Easy listening, you might say as well. But at the same time, there is that intensity to it. And it is very, it's just a monstrous sound is what comes to my eyes, especially, or ears, I guess, with the headphones on. And you're just kind of encapsulated by all of it. So I love Gary Numan's lyricism. I love the way his inspirations. I love, because again, he's talked about cars, of course, with the song Cars, machines and robots, and especially for 1979 here, you could tell that was the world that really interested him. And for, technology not being what it was then as it is today, technology is, advanced. And I feel like, yeah, that he was so involved, loved that whole world. He was so interested in, I guess, progressing, really. And I know that he has been influenced by film, and people have told me in the comments again. I love that so many people love Gary, because I come to love Gary as well. But anyway, he's talked about films, and he's had inspiration from films for his music. And I was thinking, is he a movie reviewer here? Because the first things he says, I don't like the film. It's just like, oh Jesus. I'm thinking, is there a certain film or what? But anyway, I just love his abrupt and almost my way or the highway kind of delivery. Because he's almost saying, I don't like the film, pull it all down, going on and on. And his delivery is almost robotic in itself as well. But he's just he's snippy. I mean, my God, he's very snippy. And that was just, almost like scares you when he comes in, because he's just so, I don't know, lightning quick with it. But anyway, yeah, so I love that. But again, I was thinking, is this all about films, or is there more to it? So anyway, there is a quote here, and when you search the song up, this is a quote that has popped up many places. This is from Genius.com in the About section, but this is from Gary Numan, and it tells you everything you need to know. Films is pure paranoia, my dislike of everyday life, and the dangers I saw lurking in every stranger's face. Now, this again reminds me of the song Cars, and it doesn't, it kind of makes sense, because again, these songs are both off the same album. There's those same themes, paranoia. Because again, I think of the line, here, safe in my car and stuff like that. Again, it's all about safety. It seems like, Gary's like paranoid about his safety in a way, if you want to put it, like that. But again, he's talking about the paranoia here, and that, is very apparent, at least for me, in the second verse here. If I can scroll up, when he says, we're so exposed. I love the repetition too, because it really just, states it even more. He's making a statement here. Anything can happen. And again, it's good to be on your toes. It's good to be on your guard, and I don't know, ready for a fight or whatever, ready to, battle for your safety or something like that. But at the same time, his paranoia seems to be pretty extreme here. Anything can happen. And don't let them see, and don't let them know. And you wonder why, turn off the lights and turn off the sound. But again, I can see where this paranoia might come from, because he is, at this point, he was becoming a celebrity. This album, of course, went to number one. He was getting famous, and maybe that's where his paranoia kind of skyrocketed. But anyway, that's just in my head. But let's continue on with the quote here. He says, despite the title, it's not about movies. So there it is there. The actors and the lyrics are people, and the show is life. Again, I just love these little, I don't know, the way he writes and the way he, again, the actors are the people in the world and the show is life. And I just love how he does this. We're so exposed is me walking around the street and the scenery and the set is the city around me. So again, it's not really that hard. It's not really complex at all. He's just talking about, again, I guess being wary of people, being weary of, people around you, whatever, in the city, and, just being ready and being on your toes. And again, he doesn't really, I guess, trust anyone. He has some trust issues as well. But anyway, going on here to the first verse. I don't like the film. And like I said, so abrupt. And, we go on, play it all back. And I don't like the scenery, and I don't like the set, so pull it all down. Again, kind of is my way or the highway kind of a thing, where he's talking about, I don't like it. Pull it all down. What the hell are you waiting for here? But he does like a couple things. But I like the actors, and I like the show. So how he says in his quote, the actors being people, the people that he sees, lurking around him, that he's kind of, I guess, paranoid of, and the show being life. He likes life, he likes the people. And maybe I'm thinking, maybe he likes the people because he admires that they're not on edge like he is. He admires that they can just go about in this flawed system, if you want to say, this flawed system of, society or whatever. And, he likes life, but at the same time, he's almost coming from it like he's an alien or something, or like, he is a robot, he is a machine. Because again, I think about how he's talking about that and how he's kind of amazed that all these people just walk around and they're not as, on edge or, on guard as he is. He just doesn't get it. He's just like, how are these people, just going about their lives? I don't get it. And, he's very paranoid or whatever. And I just love the way he comes at this. And I don't know if that's all true. Maybe he was, feeling a little anxious or whatever, probably. And how he would just put that into a song like this, and it just sounded so cool. I mean, that's the word, so cool and groovy. And again, it's just so unapologetically, about the synths and so loud, and it's just a banging song. And again, I can't imagine being, a teenager in 79 or something and hearing this and being like, Jesus Christ, Gary Numan, who's this guy? Anyway, I really enjoyed this. Such a great album too. And again, I hate, hearing, because I've talked about it before, but, so many people have commented saying, Gary Numan being a one-hit wonder is just so, it's hard to hear because, again, the songs I've heard here, and maybe they don't chart well, whatever. But at the same time, he has so many good songs, just from what I've already heard. And this album itself went to #1. His debut was just so huge, you can tell. And if you see, Gary today, I mean, the man is still styling. I mean, my God. Anyway, I guess that's all I got to say. So thanks for watching. And, just the people you can hear the influence he would have with so many different people. I think I already said, but just the inspiration you can hear that people would take from Gary Numan. He doesn't get the credit he deserves, I feel like. So anyway, thanks for watching. Thanks for liking, subscribing, commenting, all that stuff. Really appreciate all the support. And I will talk to you guys again soon. So happy I came back to Gary. And I hope you guys are too, because you guys wanted it a lot. My goodness.